take some notes while we're waiting for it.
Okay, go ahead, John.
Okay. So this is the December 7th, 2020 meeting of the Ashburnham website review committee. In attendance, we have Donna Burton, TJ Kelly, John Mulhall. We're expecting Mary Beth Jansen's shortly. Donna Michael will not make the meeting tonight. I'm just going to take a couple notes while we wait for Mary Beth to jump in. All right, so to get started, can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Okay.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Great. Okay. Now let's get on to, I think the next thing, of course, I clicked away from it, so I've lost my, lost my agenda. What do we have next up? We have approving minutes, I think.
We can wait till Mary Beth comes.
Yeah, why don't we do that? All right, let's come back to that in a minute. TJ, you said you had a quick update?
Yeah, only that my last task, that I was on the hook for here was to speak to Jan on the Council on Aging to get her feedback submitted. And so when I spoke to her, I sent over the questions that you had given me, John, and she said that she had already answered those questions. And she couldn't remember who had sent it over, but she thought maybe it was Mary in the town hall. So I don't know if Mary had spoken to a few other groups besides Jan and the Council on Aging, or just her, bumped into her or something. But she said she'd already provided that feedback, and I said, okay, thanks very much. That's all we needed. So I don't have a copy of it, but ostensibly it's out there somewhere.
I'm going to email
Yes,
Mary.
she is.
There she is.
We have Mary Beth.
Excellent. Mary Beth, hi.
I don't hear her.
Looks like her audio might still be connecting.
Hmm.
Here we go.
Can you guys see me now?
There you are.
There you are. Hi.
See if I can hear you.
All right, so we just opened the meeting. TJ just said that he spoke to Jan at COA, and she said that she had provided the information already. So I just shot an email over to Mary Calandrella to see if it ended up in her inbox someplace. So, and I think
What time did you open?
What's that?
What time did you open the meeting?
Oh, 6:08.
Okay.
And we've got we have Donna Burton moved to approve the agenda, and TJ seconded. And we had 3 votes in favor.
So just no Donna Michael tonight?
No Donna Michael tonight, correct.
Sorry about being late. It was a technology nightmare all day.
Oh, that's all right. I think there's I'm wondering if there's something going on between the storms and everyone back to school on Monday and everything like that. But I know on Friday everybody was complaining about various platforms that they're using, Teams, and I know my kids were
Yep, that's what happened to us, and it's a nightmare.
Yep.
Hopefully tomorrow will be better. I'm
So
assuming where TJ told you, I did have a chance to talk to Lieutenant Conrad,
okay.
and which was who Larry had said to talk to. He said his biggest thing is that he doesn't mind coming up with the content, but sometimes just getting it designed so that it looks right can be frustrating. So that if there was either that the software or that putting stuff in would be more WYSIWYG, to bring up the old word, or to have that then placed in someone else's hands. If we were to make a recommendation that there was somebody who is versed in that does that in their place, he said that would probably be the biggest thing for him.
Okay.
And on Steve Nim's side, the big thing is I don't want to have to do anything. I said, okay, I'll get back to you. So,
What do you think that means? Was that I don't want to have to provide content, or I don't mind providing the content. I just make the website work. I don't care how you do it.
yeah, it was that, like, I don't
Okay.
want to have any, if there's going to be a change, it better not involve me having to do anything extra,
Got it.
even if it costs less. So it would have to be, it's like, it works now. So,
Right. Okay.
so,
All right. Well, I mean, that's fine. That's good. That's kind of a very Steve way to look at it, and I can respect that. Great.
so, and I do have messages out to George, as well as Bob Plant.
Mhm.
And I haven't been able to reach Dave Perry yet. But if it comes to it, I'll just go up and knock on his door. So,
Okay.
and then there's a couple others that I had, I just haven't had a chance to whip something off to them, but Leo has all the emails I'll need, so.
All right. Great. Sounds good. Thanks for that. As far as my folks, I have sent messages to everybody. Very, very late, but all the messages are out, and I have heard back from Lorraine is reviewing and will get back to us. Lorraine is from Open Space and Recreation. So the other three I had were capital planning, advisory board, and water and sewer commission. I'm guessing I'm going to have to reach out a little more directly with a phone call to water and sewer commission. I'm not sure if they're going to have much for us, but
Yep.
yeah. So. But I should be hearing back from Jamie at Capital and Ron from advisory board sometime.
Great.
All right. As far as TJ, you brought up, you have to make sure that we're making forward motion. I think we are. I'm sure all of us would like to be going quicker, but we have to rely on.
There's a weird echo.
Yeah, there is.
John, how is your volume?
I'm going to mute myself and see if it's me. Somebody else
Yeah,
has
I'm
to.
talking over to test that out.
I don't know if it's me.
I got my volume at 25.
Mine's coming through pretty good. Usually I use the headphones, but I was running so behind
we
that I
haven't-
just,
We haven't had this problem before, so maybe it's mine.
Actually, Mary Beth, do you have your plugged in?
nope. I'm using my computer's microphone.
Because when you talk, it sounds great, and then when Donna talks to you, I hear the echo. Donna, why don't you mute for a second?
And see, it's coming across that way with you.
So you two are messing each other up?
All right, let's try it now. I
Better.
think it's Mary Beth's computer.
Hey, you saw how long it took me to boot up. I get no doubts. Just talk to the selectman and let them know that the wife needs a new laptop.
I'll let them know.
Okay.
All right, well, let's just push ahead anyway. I don't know that we need to chat too much other than we'll start to need to sketch out any changes that we'd like to see. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more input back. We got a nice, and TJ, this is maybe more something that you could assist with, laying out the skeleton of what our deliverable is going to look like, but I'm kind of envisioning kind of like almost give it the directory tree with, with what we'd like it to be, with list of changes and things like that. So hopefully as we're reaching out directly, we'll get a little more feedback and we can start to put a skeleton together of what our final is going to look like. I'm not terribly concerned that we get it done by the first week of January, as long as that we can report back that we've got some to the DOS. I think that's all we're really looking for.
And
One of the things sorry, TJ.
Are we hoping that deliverable, John, looks like, a document with some notes and suggestions? Are we talking about a, kind of a sketch of a layout? Like what do you see that looking like?
That's a really good question.
From
Go ahead.
what I was able to gather is, and I think if you remember, John, is that Bill Johnson said, "Oh, we just picked the date." So I think it's our call what we want to give them, so that we make sure that we don't, cut off our noses to spite our face by promising too much, but also giving them a good update on what we've been doing, and then maybe at that point be in a better place to talk about when we would have specific deliverables.
Yep.
One of the things that I had been thinking about was, having to talk to, I know it's not George that's at the historic, and I don't have her name in front of me, but in talking to them, I wasn't able to get to their page to look, but wondering if donations done directly through the website would be something that would be a wish list for them. Rather, I think that right now it's you just get an email and you contact them. I don't know if that's, I don't know how that works with them being part of the town and yet not. I think, yeah, I just realized my mistake there, because one thing's the historical commission, the other thing is Ashburnham Historical Society.
Right. Yes. Yeah, that's the,
Okay, so never mind. Never mind.
yeah. I'm running into that. I'm part of a scouting group, and we run into the same thing where we have kind of a sister organization that I had to put together in order to accept donations, because we can't solicit money through the scouts directly.
Yeah, fiscal sponsors. Blast trying to find.
Okay. So I think that, TJ, to get back to what you're saying, I think that for the beginning of January, when we talk to them, if we've gotten enough feedback, I think we should kind of lay out a roadmap. I don't think we need to have our final, these are the 30 changes we're going to do. I think we just need to kind of tell them a little bit more closely where we're headed. I think we can talk about changes to the landing page. We can talk about revamping each board, committee, and commission website. And if we haven't received feedback, we'll just make a best guess as to what kind of updates we're going to do. And
it might be. I remember Bill Johnson talking about not even knowing what's there is kind of even pointing out what we panned out as being the sticky spots or places where things weren't clear, to show them what needs to be changed, so that especially when we are eventually looking at numbers, they know we're not just changing things for the sake of changing them, and that the investment we're asking for is worth that.
Yep. I think that's another thing that's important to outline for them is what can we change within our current contract without incurring additional charges. Like, anything that Donna can do, obviously, we don't have to pay for it. Not that we want to put a full redesign on Donna's plate, but things where we're gonna be adding components, adding services. Those are obviously those are likely going to be incurring additional charges.
Have we identified if there are functions that we want to add, functionality that we wish we had but we don't have today?
Did we ever get the list from them as to what all the components and extensions and packages that are available to us in our current contract? Did we ever get that?
I think it's in the contract.
All right.
So I'm gonna risk throwing egg on my own face to ask this, but it's not Civic Plus that we are currently in a contract with, correct?
It is Civic Plus.
Okay, so we're looking to them to go to a better, or did we recently switch to them?
It's been a few years anyway. It's,
Okay.
for as far as they're concerned, it's a matter of identifying what we can do and what we'd have to pay extra for, or what might not even be possible in our system. And so step one of that is, get a hold of the contract and see what we're currently paying for.
Okay.
I know the meeting that we had, the last meeting that Braxton was at, he was talking about if he could get a ballpark. So he knows, the high low of what he should be throwing at us for estimates.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to give us any estimate until we submit, requests for changes, right? I think.
I don't know, when he was talking, I think it was more narrowing it down, saying, okay, help me figure out what ballpark we're in. And then he can help us to see what's, is priced out that is something we couldn't do. And I think that when they was talking the estimate, it's more of a conversation. Obviously, an estimate would come when we decided what we wanted to do. But my impression from Braxton was that to start the conversation and know what we're looking at, so we can give him ideas of the kind of things we want to be able to do.
Okay. Donna, do we have their contract?
I thought I emailed what I had. Let me double check.
And you might have.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think you did on the 9th. Found it November 9th.
Yeah.
Is that to all of us, Donna?
I think I sent it.
Have it.
Who did I send it to? John.
Let me see. Yep. There it is. All right.
I sent
Yep.
it to John because John's the chair. So
Okay. I'll send this around.
And who is compiling the feedback from boards and committees?
That's a great question. I don't think we identified anybody.
I think
Has anyone
right now,
have we gotten written feedback yet?
mine has all been verbal.
Yeah.
I haven't received anything. I heard from planning board, they're having a meeting this week, and they said they're gonna have a discussion at their meeting.
Okay. Could you follow up with them at the end of the meeting, Donna, and just see if they want to provide something in writing or?
Yeah, I believe their meeting is on Thursday, so I'll reach out to Roger.
Yeah, that'd be great. So I don't think we've identified anybody to compile all this information. I don't know if we want to. If you have verbal, do a quick write-up, we can stick it in our Google Drive.
I think first of all, we should convert all the verbal into read and write. We're getting a copy of that. And Google Drive sounds fine. If that could probably start as email, And, you know, if folks want to, I can grab everything that goes through the email and put it into the drive, so we've got it all in one folder.
Sure.
As long as everyone sends it around. So in terms of that, you know, end of year update for the board, you know, we're talking about our progress and the direction we're headed and all that. It seems to me that the two big components of that are we are collecting feedback from all committees and boards in the town, and here's what we have so far. And then also here are some of the suggested functionality changes that we are considering and, you know, sort of speaking to Civic Plus about and reviewing our contract about. Those two, you know, those two things seem like the big parts, right? Feedback from the boards and functionality changes based on the Civic Plus contract. Are there others that should go into this update?
Nothing, that really, I think, is the most important pieces. Because that's what it comes down to. The feedback that we're getting and where we're going to take it, you know, the functionality changes. That's pretty much it. I mean, we're not looking to change vendors, and we're not looking to do anything drastic, you know, like add a customer service portal with, you know, unique user IDs and things like that. We're not talking about that at this point. So I think, go ahead.
Sorry, at one point, and I don't remember if it was a suggestion from someone on the committee or that we'd heard from someone, but was to look into what kind of things we might be able to convert to being available online. Like if you wanted to get a birth certificate, you could put in that request. And if we weren't able to have a portal, then at least it would be ready. You know, the town, the clerk, Michelle, is it Michelle?
Yep.
Would do that, could email you back, it's ready to be picked up, rather than having to, you know, the person's waiting, when am I going to get to town hall? If they can go on and do that, those kind of things are, I think, probably be attractive to people.
That would
Then
have
that
to-
also
that would have to be checked. Because
Right.
some like birth certificate, you can't just give out to anybody. So
The
they
website
are,
could still accept the inquiry, though. Oh, sorry, Margaret.
yes,
Right.
they
Right.
can accept inquiries.
Okay.
and know that there are certain ones that can't, and it's crazy with all of that you go through, but actually birth certificates are a public record, except like in the case of adoption. But
Or
it-
an
at least,
unborn mother.
yes. If, but actually that birth certificate, if it's listed with no, you could still get that. It's really scary that I had a long discussion with someone about everything we go through with the real ID and everything. And then to have it actually be that you have, that's public record. Like ancestry.com is kind of an example of that, because when you go on and you're looking at a birth date, you're actually seeing the roles in birth certificates. But even if it was something, you know, talking to Bob Plant maybe about fire permits and that sort of thing, or scheduling an inspection, to have a process where that's not kind of as loose as it is right now with a real estate closings coming up, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but a lot of it what you're talking about is a program. We don't have programs. We tried getting a program, you know, for like the land use department, the clerk, to all be in a program to be able to do exactly what you're talking about. Permits, having DPW connected, having everybody. So that it would be online. It just costs money to do the program, and we don't have.
Yeah, and even just thinking maybe of, in talking to people, is finding out if there's something, even if it was just sent a message ahead. that, told you who to contact for that
Yeah.
kind of stuff or those kind of questions. And that would be another thing for one of those frequently asked questions.
Like a
How do I get
tap
this?
page or something?
Yeah,
Fine. Oh,
I like the idea of having a larger, shouldn't use the word larger, having a system in place to do the portal and the document request and that kind of thing. My opinion is we should have that as a phase 2 recommendation.
Yeah.
Get through all the freebie stuff first that we can accomplish for little to no money, to improve our existing functionality. I absolutely think we should do a little future thinking and make some recommendations about something like this because, we're using less paper, not more. So this does seem like a great idea. And currently, we do not have money for this platform to roll it out, but it doesn't mean that we don't suggest it.
right. I think too with the situation that the world is in right now with COVID, just today now working in a law firm, that they've actually had to change some of the parameters around having virtual notary. That there is actually before this it was just an absolute no, you cannot do that. That they've had to change that. I mean, it involves now you have to have 2 videos showing this people signing and such. But I think that when we're talking about things that we want, it's good to think about situations like that. Like now that the town hall has been through that whole closed process, what were the things that they would have liked to have had as they were getting back to work?
Yep. All right. So are we good for our general discussion for tonight?
Think so.
All right, great. So let's do the approval of minutes. We have minutes from the, what was it, the 16th, the
2nd and the 16th.
22nd and the 16th, and then I had minutes from the 23rd. So, Mary Beth, you weren't at the 23rd, right?
Correct.
All right, so let's take it in 2 pieces. Since you can't vote on that one, can I have a motion to approve the minutes from November 2nd and November 16th?
A motion to approve November 2nd and the 16th.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Great. And can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the November 23rd?
A motion to accept November 23rd.
Second.
Right. And all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Great. So, TJ, you're gonna do a little bit with the with our responses as they come in.
Yep.
All right. Great. I think we should all take a little bit to look around at some other community websites to see if there's any additional features that we haven't already talked about. My big thing is the I'll call it small p portal, the information area in the front with kind of the breaking news. It's escaping me what we've been calling this, but the 10 line news feed, not just the 3 line news feed. So if there's any other features that we need to spend a little time talking about, if everybody could just take a little time over the week and investigate other things they'd like to see, we can talk about them next week. All right. Anybody have anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, great.
All set.
All right, then I will accept one more motion tonight.
motion to adjourn?
Second,
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right.
I hear an echo in the other room. We're motioning and they're motioning.
All right, meeting adjourned 6:38 PM.
Great.
night.
Thanks all.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Okay.